Hi, this is Elvira from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to make some sugar cookies, Valentine sugar cookies made out of cookie dough using my gypsy and my cake, my mini cake. There's my mini cake from Cricut. So first we got to prepare our cake mat. So you need some Crisco and something to apply the shortening, and he's going to do a thin coat of that shortening. Okay. And then let me move my gypsy over. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my cookie dough and I'm going to squish it, and you have to make the thin in order for the quick cut to cut it. Otherwise, because the blade is kind of deep, so if you don't make your cookie dough thin, it will cut your dough. And I noticed that it did that. So let me get some flour. And let's go ahead and roll out my cookie dough on my mat. So I went ahead and now it's nice and thin, as you can see. So the next thing we need to do is cut around the edges. So you need to take a pizza cutter and cut around the edges of the mat, because you don't want the rollers to get trapped on the cookie dough while it's cutting, because it's very messy when that happens. Okay, and do one more pass. Make sure it's nice and thin, and clean the edges up. Okay, I got my cookie sheet out of the freezer, and now I'm ready to load it into my mat. Here's my gypsy, and I'm gonna hit cut, and then load mat. My pressure is gonna be medium. My speed is at medium, and now I'm gonna hit cut and hit OK. And I'll be back after it cuts. Okay, it cut my cookie, but as you notice, because it's a little too thick, when the blade dragged from here to cut the other cookie, it kind of sliced into the next cookie. But what you need to do is just simply take your finger and kind of smooth it out, if that happens, like that, and then it'll be fine. So that now what this is teaching you is the next batch that you do of these cookies, it needs to be thinner than what I rolled out here. But it'll work. I'm not notice that the cookie dough is starting to defrost, so it gets real warm, and then my form will get distorted. So what I do is I put this back in the freezer for another 10 minutes, and then I'll take out the cookies. I'll be back. Okay, I put it back in the freezer, and now I'm taking out my cookie. It works better if once you cut it, you put it back in the freezer, and see, it comes out perfect. So then I'm gonna place it on my cookie sheet and I'll come back after I cook them. Okay, I'm back. I was having an issue with making it too thick, and actually this is the thickness that seems to work. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my gypsy again. See it here. I'm gonna hit the cut, load matte, and then hit cut. My pressure is kind of at medium, speed is medium, and I'm gonna hit cut. I'm done with my cookies, and this is my cookie. Came out pretty nice. The trick of making the cookie is to make sure that your cookie dough is frozen, and before you take it off the Cricut mat, you need to make sure you put it in the freezer again after you cut it, and then you put it in the cooking sheet, and then bake it. And this time I put some color sugar on top. Okay, so after I did my cookie, I'm going to show you how you can clean your Cricut if you have one. Get one of these brushes, and what I do is I go in and kind of unplug it. Make sure you have it unplugged. It kind of dusts the side, because sometimes in here, in that area right in there, crumbs tend to accumulate. So you want to make sure you clean that. Take a damp cloth and kind of clean it. Then turn it around and see all the stuff kind of accumulates here. So you take and clean that off. Okay. And it helps if you have, again, a brush to kind of brush that out. Clean it in the back too. And then something that I did not know before was there's two little compartments in the back right here. This one, you open that compartment, see how there's stuff in there, and you open this compartment and see how it's stuffed. Then I take my brush and I sweep out all that, and then I turn it and then use a cloth and kind of make sure I get real good in there. I didn't know that before. And then see how right in between here, this brush is perfect. Kind of brush around. Right, and this brush is, I only use it to clean the Cricut. It's my Cricut clean brush. And then see how I move you can move the carriage back and forth. So I move the carriage all the way over. Just be careful when you move it. And then make sure you keep cleaning, making sure you get everything out. Okay. And it looks pretty clean to me. Okay. And then just put your drawers back and store it away. One thing I did make for my Cricut is I made a little cozy. It's because I leave this on my kitchen, in my kitchen counter. I put this on and it'll protect it from grease and from dust or anything like that. And then when I'm ready to use it, I'll just take it off. And this, I can wash it. So that way I could, I throw it in the washing machine whenever it gets real dirty. So that's it. I hope you liked the tutorial. Come back to see me for some more. Bye.